They gave me 24 hours to tear down everything I'd built with my own hands. 24 hours to destroy 40 acres of memory. So I smiled, signed their little notice, and walked away. What they didn't know was that I already owned the roof over their heads. Literally, before we go any further, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop your country in the comments. I love seeing how far these stories reach. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your last chance. Hit that subscribe button now, because the next story only gets crazier from here. My name is Everett Cole, and 3 years ago I bought 40 acres of dusty, forgotten land on the edge of Merrill Ridge Estates and turned it into something people said couldn't exist inside an HOA boundary, a working ranch. Horses, chickens, a barn I built beam by beam after work, sometimes until midnight, sweat soaking through my shirt under floodlights because that was the only time I had. My wife thought I was crazy. My neighbors thought I was an eyesore. The HOA board thought I was a problem to be solved. I didn't build that ranch to prove anything. I built it because my father raised horses before the bank took our land when I was 19, and some part of me never stopped chasing that back. When I finally had the money, I bought the ugliest, cheapest lot in the neighborhood and turned it into the one thing that made me feel like him again. The HOA never liked it. Too rustic, they said. Lowers property values, they said. For 2 years it was passive complaints, snide comments at community meetings, anonymous notes taped to my mailbox. I ignored all of it. Then Deborah Vance became board president, and ignoring stopped being an option. Deborah didn't do subtlety. She did certified letters. She did fines. She did violations invented out of nowhere. My chicken coop was suddenly a commercial structure. My split rail fence was suddenly unauthorized. And then, on a Tuesday morning in March, a single sheet of paper taped to my front gate changed everything. Immediate demolition required. All structures deemed non-compliant with HOA, Bylaw 14B, must be removed within 24 hours, or the association will proceed with removal at the homeowner's expense plus penalties. 24 hours. To erase 3 years of my life. I stood there holding that paper for a long time. Long enough that my hands stopped shaking and something colder took over. Because see, there was one thing Deborah Vance didn't know about me. One thing nobody on that board had bothered to check before they signed their name to that letter. I wasn't just a rancher. Before I ever touched a shovel, I spent 11 years in commercial real estate finance, buying distressed notes on properties nobody else wanted. And 6 months earlier, purely as a hobby, I'd bought a small, unglamorous mortgage note at auction, a note secured by a rundown clubhouse and rental cottages sitting on land I recognized the second I saw the parcel number. Merrill Ridge Estates own HOA-owned properties. I didn't say a word. I signed their demolition notice like a defeated man. I let them believe they'd won. But this story has more turns coming, and I promise you, the moment Deborah found out who really held the paper on her precious clubhouse, that's the part you don't want to miss. Stick around. For the next 2 weeks, I did nothing. I let the silence work in my favor. Deborah paraded around the neighborhood like a conqueror, telling anyone who'd listen how she'd finally handled the ranch situation. At the next community meeting, she stood at the podium and used me as her example, said my name out loud, called my ranch an embarrassment. We've corrected. People clapped. I sat in the back row and said nothing. That was the moment I stopped feeling guilty about what came next. The following Monday, an envelope went out from Vance Capital Holdings, a shell company I'd quietly formed the year before, back when the note purchase was just a smart investment, not yet a weapon. Every HOA-owned rental cottage, every unit in that clubhouse complex received the same letter, rent adjustment notice. Effective immediately, increased tenfold, fully within the terms of the original note agreement Deborah's own board had signed off on years earlier without reading the fine print. 10 times the rent. On a board that could barely cover its own landscaping budget. I want you to imagine the emergency meeting that followed, because I have it on good authority it was chaos. Deborah stood up, demanding to know who Vance Capital Holdings was, why they were doing this, how this was legal. And the property manager, the only person in that room who'd actually read the note documents, quietly informed her that the new note holder had every legal right under the original agreement. Then he said the words that apparently made her go pale. The note holder's registered contact was Everett Cole, the same Everett Cole she'd humiliated at the podium 2 weeks earlier. The same Everett Cole she'd given 24 hours to destroy his father's memory. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. I simply sent one letter back, through my attorney, offering the board a choice: negotiate a reasonable payment restructuring in good faith, or default and let Vance Capital Holdings pursue foreclosure on the clubhouse and every rental unit tied to it. The board caved in 9 days. Deborah didn't survive the vote that followed. She was removed from the presidency by her own members, the same people who'd clapped for her 2 weeks before. My ranch, ironically, was never touched. In the chaos of trying to save the clubhouse, nobody ever circled back to my violation. Bylaw 14B quietly disappeared from the agenda and has never been mentioned since. I still keep that demolition notice, the one that gave me 24 hours to destroy everything I loved. It's framed now, hanging in my barn, right above the stall where my father's old saddle rests. Not as a trophy. As a reminder that sometimes the people who try to tear you down have no idea what you're actually capable of building back up. I think about my dad a lot when I'm out there at sunrise, feeding the horses, watching the sun come up over land that almost wasn't mine anymore. He lost everything to a bank that didn't know his name. I got to keep everything, because I made sure they knew mine. So let me ask you this: if someone gave you 24 hours to lose everything you built, would you fight back quietly the way I did? Or would you burn it all down loud? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one.